Listening to understand, because how often are we really listening? So listening to understand is pretty literal. It is listening in a way that helps you learn more and not to respond better. So again, it's listening in a way that helps you actually understand what the other person is saying or people are saying, understand what's really going on, understand the situation. Listen to understand what's going on, right? Because so often we actually are listening to people to figure out how we're going to respond, what we should say, how we can make a counter argument or something like that. That is not what this is about. Listening to understand is about really understanding and learning, and listening just to learn more, as opposed to trying to figure out what you're going to say next. And that's a really big difference. And this is important because we often miss the most important part of what someone is trying to say or an interaction because we aren't really listening. When I get caught up in thinking about how I'm going to respond to the person, I start looking for where a good place for me to insert my opinion is instead of listening to somebody. And what I end up doing is usually I'll cut off the other person before they've really gotten to say what they need to say, or we haven't talked through to a point where they are getting to sort of the root cause of a problem or something like that. We very often cut each other off trying to solve each other's problems, maybe even in a positive way, or to try to make an argument in a negative way. Either way, we are so often just missing what we're really supposed to hear because we're not patient enough to truly listen all the way through and understand what other people are trying to say and what's going on with the situation. And so there are a lot of different ways that you can work on this, but we'll start off with these few things, right? First is just to physically focus on the speaker. That's a good start, right? Because sometimes we can actually literally listen to somebody without looking at them, without body language that shows them we're listening, but physically focusing on the speaker is a way for them to know that you're really listening, which makes them more likely to share the information that will help you better understand. But it also helps you focus yourself, right? It's a cue to you or your brain, your ears, whatever you want to say. By physically focusing on the speaker, it's more likely that you're going to catch all the cues that you need to catch to understand what's going on. It's their body language, it's their eyes, it's maybe what they're pointing at, something they're writing. Right? By physically focusing on the speaker, you're communicating to them that you're listening, which makes them more likely to share. Plus, it just helps you. Right? The other part is asking good questions. Right? We often ask questions in a way that is meant to show something or kind of get to what we want, but there's a way to ask good questions that help a person get deeper and better share what they need to share, right? And also, I mean, for you, if you're honestly listening to understand, if you're really curious and really want to hear everything you need to hear, you're not just trying to figure out what you can say, asking good questions helps you truly understand the situation and get a little deeper to it. The final thing is to be present. That's kind of related to the physical focus, but being present means cleaning out your own brain in a way and making sure you're focusing on the listener in an internal way for you, right? Emotionally present. So you're not thinking about your day. You're not wondering about what's going to happen next. You're really just completely in the moment trying to concentrate on the person you're interacting with and figuring out what's going on. Usually coping skills are part of being present, so that's why we talk about those before this, because those are ways that you can kind of get a check on your emotions and your thoughts in a particular way that also helps you listen to understand.